Hello and welcome along and welcome back to This Is Ireland. Today we are starting off with just clearing the cows out. If we have a quick look at our animals, you can see our cleanliness is a fair amount down on the cows. They're down to 30%, so we're just going to whip along here and do that. We might give them a quick bit of water and straw, but our main job today lies down the other end, so we need to get that. We've slightly got our bucket tipped up at the moment. There we go. So we're going to give them this food, and then that should sort them. Or we'll clear this out, and that should sort them. A little bit mucky, but all good. Right, put that back in. Oh. Now that's the weird thing. Sometimes you get triggers like this that are just way, way too far out from where it actually should be tipped. So I think if we tip here, yeah, so if we tip here, we're fine. Although we've got a cow on the bucket. Whereas, yeah, actually tipping it into the thing. So I think sometimes widening the triggers would be good. In general, it's fine though, because obviously we do have that bit over the side. So let's head back with this. Now, manure on this map. Oh, before we do that, let's go and turn the water valve on. And that will deal with that. Now, the manure on this map, you can see, is around the corner here. Just down there. There's a pile of it down the road. But we're not worried about that at the moment. We will start moving some of that. We'll get a trailer and we'll come and move some of that back into the yard here at some point. Because, yeah, we got storage for it. I think we got storage for it round here somewhere. If not, we can always put in a... yeah, somewhere around here would be good storage for it, but we don't actually have a storage point for it at the moment. So let's go put our bucket back, and then we're just going to... I don't know if we actually have any straw left in this. We will have a quick look at that. But yeah, we need to get our field planted today. It is day 5 of spring. I'm not sure that the oilseed radish have actually germinated yet, which again is annoying. Let's have a quick look at that as well. So yeah, the oilseed radish in field 34 have finally germinated. So we do finally have some germination there. We're going to have to do some spraying soon though. Field 21 is completely unsprayed. Field 33 needs spraying. Field 31 could do with some spraying, but that is just grass. So yeah, field 33 is what we're probably going to have to do in the next couple of times to get done. We need... No, we do not have any straw in this trailer. So, we'll just bring this out here, disconnect it, and go and get our bale spike on. So, off with that, off with that. And we'll put a couple of bales in here. Somebody... oh no, that was with the feed. Somebody suggested last time that I should only put one straw bale in. And I'm kind of going, well, in the straw blower, I want to put 2. That way I've got some in here for a while. And what they meant was in the feed mixer. I should have only put 1 straw bale in the feed mixer. And they were absolutely right. Had we only done 1 straw bale, we would have been fine. More exactly what I normally do is put the straw bales in last. Make sure that I'm more than 2/3 full. And put the straw bales in last. That way... if your mix is 30%, 30%, sorry, 33%, 33%, 33%, you're in a position where your straw bales don't throw you over your mix ratio, or doesn't throw your mix ratio out, because they want to max out at 33%, not go beyond it. So yeah, that then causes the problem, and that's why it's always wise to put the straw in last. As I said, you don't require straw in these mixers, but it helps because you tend to generate more straw bales on the farm than anything else. So yeah, it just helps to keep the cost down of doing it, and means that you yeah, you keep more hay and We're not going to make it around that corner. Keep more hay and silage for yourself for later. So let's take this in, go and get this done, which is very similar to what we were doing last time. But once this job is done today, this job is done. They have plenty of feed. We're not going to have an issue with our... Let's get this open. There we go. We're not going to have an issue with feed with the cows today. We just needed to make sure they had enough water and straw. So there they are. And there we go. So this should be enough to deal with them. Let's have a look at our cows. Yes, right up on the straw. Now the cows will eat through the mixed ration first, then they'll eat the hay silage, and then they'll eat the grass. So they're maxed out on all of those. That's all good. We're maxed out on straw now, and we're not going to... This is the thing, we don't make that turn. So, the thing to remember when we come into the cow shed like this is close this gate behind us. A, so cows don't escape, but B, because that is not the way we go out of here. And there you can see the pile of manure. We have a large space of manure there. And then we've got these cattle grids down the side, so it's just easier to head out this way rather than try and turn around in the cattle shed. So we'll get this back into the shed, and then we're going to head down to the main farm. We need to, actually, before we head down to the main farm, we are going to quickly head over to the horses, because the horses also need a bit of work. So we'll stop this here, turn it off, and head down to our horse paddock with our Ford 6810. And what we have down here is we actually need this little tractor hooked up to the straw blur, which of course looks odd because it doesn't quite hook up right. But otherwise is a great little tractor for this job. Yeah, I really want to sort that. There we go. Well, I'll go with I've drilled the hole through the support bar or the pull bar. Yeah, it should hook up to the bottom of this Andersen. I have no idea why it doesn't do that. We could probably do with, just before we get there, turning this valve and doing that. And then all the way around here, we've got this. And again, just unload the straw. That way our horses have enough straw as well. And the horses, now that we've got the horse helper mod back and it's working, and the horses are doing really great. Look at that. So they are now maxed out on the straw. They don't take much straw, fortunately. This straw bale will do us for a while, so we don't need to take that back down. But yeah, horses are doing well. We're maxed out on those now. So we might at some point take some trees down here and have a look at that and see how we go. There we are. That is that job done. So park this back up, because we don't need this anymore. And this is why we're keeping the round bales up at the main yard, because we're loading them in with the telehandler and we're using them so rarely down here. I think our horses are good for feed, though, if I have a look. Yeah, feed and everything is good. So that is the animals done for the day. I will just show you the sheep to show that they are good as well. Yeah, they're producing hay. Sorry, they are producing wool, not hay. Quite nicely. And we're going to take out this piece of kit today. So we're going to take the Class Atlas out. Because we want one of those. And I think we discovered previously that we should be good planting with the Massey, even though the underpowered nature. So today we're going to try this on the more powerful one. We want to check what we're going to plant down on our field. So let's just reverse this up. Just tuck over here, hook that up, hook those up. And this should have some seed in. Yeah, this does. This has canola. Now that seems to have moved slightly because there's no way that should have been behind there. Right, so this fertilizes and does canola. We are going to go and plant field 22, which we knew about last time. It had previously had nothing in it. So I think it's been fallow. So if we have a look at our crop rotation, we can go fallow into pretty much anything, to be honest. So we need to work out what crops we need. Oats are always quite a good crop for us to do. If we have a look what we've actually planted, we've got 2 fields of wheat, so we definitely don't want any more wheat. We've got a field of canola there, so that's good. Now, it depends if we're going to do any pigs in the future, whether we want any corn. But certainly, a good paying crop would be oats for us. We don't have a sunflower header, I don't think, if we have a look at our equipment quickly. No sunflower or corn header in here, so there's our regular header. So we've not got a corn header in here at all. So yeah, I think what we have not planted so far is oats. So we'll set that now. There we go. And away we go. So my thought was that we were going to switch the header on our thing and actually do some corn on the farm. But I think we're going to do the field of that. We're going to do that on the one we've got the oilseed radish in. I know we've got a different setup listed for that in our crop rotation, but I think that would do us quite well. The alternative is to do this field with it. But I want to give this a good test and try this out and see if this works. I think we may end up just going with the pickup header instead for that. In which case we may have bought a seeder we don't need. Oh, it's so much nicer going down this road with those branches having been removed. No fear of suddenly getting the tractor pulled up because it's caught a tree. Down, round through here. This is quite a useful little road. We could do with possibly widening this. But it's, yeah, this is a good rear entrance to the farm. And then we want to turn out this way. And it is just across the road here. Absolutely perfect. Yep, and then through here. As I was saying last time, I did not realise that there was this cut through here. This is quite a brilliant little cut through this. Really, really good. Now, our best bet for this field is not actually the top end here, it's the bottom end. So this has been limed and ploughed, so this has been made already. We've got both our wheat fields have not seemed to do too well, actually. 21 has done better than our winter wheat. Our winter wheat really got trashed. Now, we do have GPS on this, so that's actually really useful to us. We can use that to set up this corner. And yeah, it's a north, south, east, west one, this. So we want to make sure that we drive it nice and straight. So let's bring this off. So we're not snapping to terrain angle. We're not showing lines. We're not offsetting the rolls. Yep. Auto width of 49. It's got an offset, but I'm going to take that down. No. Auto width it. I think it's because we're slightly pushed over. So what I want to do is increase that. Yeah. Get that as close to 0 as I can. And decrease it again. There we are. Right, and that should do us. So, set point A. Start her up. Drop her down. And away we go, and try and just keep on this line as best as possible. Which shouldn't be too difficult, especially if we do this, because we've got the front of the bonnet that we can just line up down this furrow. And then that will set us up for doing the entire field. And this is handling this piece of kit absolutely fine. So my worries over this are yeah, not too bad. So let's set our course, apply it, and away we go. There we go. Absolutely perfect. Very happy with that. Up to our headland, lift, round, and we should be able to pick up the next course and see that it's actually nice and straight. Now we could do skip rows on the course here, but I think we can get round. We can almost get round. The piece of equipment is not too bad and should reverse up fairly easily. Oh no, not quite. So we'll have to come off the course, line it up, and drop down, and then we'll bring it down, and hopefully, there we go. Absolutely perfect on that course. So I'm really happy with that. I think what we're going to do is crack on with this field and get these oats planted, and with any luck, very soon we'll be able to see what else we've got kicking around on the farm. Over halfway through the field, and yeah, well, absolutely tons of fertilizer and seed and everything left. I think this seeder is actually great for us for this farm and sort of long term. We had a fairly large seeder originally. I think the Amazon was massive, but it had a much smaller tank on it. I'm pretty sure that we had to fill up a couple of times early on. So yeah, this has a very nice big tank on it. It's using a decent level of stuff, and yeah, we're not going down too quickly. This is the second field we've done with this actually, and discovered that we're not using seed too quickly, that we're going to run out doing it. And this is actually a decent sized field. And this is the thing about this map. It has lots of really decent sized fields on it. And as a result, you just end up just sort of doing okay with it and doing good with medium to large sized machinery. I mean, our biggest field we've got is, of course, field 33, which is about 3 times the size of this one. But it is our biggest one by far. The really big ones on this map, they are all grass fields pretty much. So yeah, this is a absolute cracking map for that. I don't think the width of our seeder is going to catch that bit, so we may have a bit of cleanup to do at the end. But the overall, yeah, we've done pretty well on this field. I think we're not in any troubles, and we should have this done in plenty of time today. In fact, before midday in game, this field should be done, and hopefully we're going to avoid the rain, but we'll see how that goes, because that is getting closer and closer, that rain. Let's drop that down, make sure we don't have too big a gap to cover, and yeah, we are all good. So that is the main body of the field done. And as you might have seen there, we were struggling a little bit. This is so while we had the while we were okay on the flatter bits down the bottom end of this field, once we got on to the stuff that was that little bit more challenging, that was that little bit more elevation to it, and was a little bit more of a slope, we started to run into trouble. So this bit is going to be interesting, because this, of course, is where we have to drive straight up the hill rather than across the hill, as we have been doing up to this point. Now we're going to try and cover all of this and get this headland done in one go. So that means trying to get the edge of this right up to here. There we go. And with any luck, that means that we won't have to re-go over this headland at all. And yeah, you can see we're going up the hill now, and it's struggling. So while we're underpowered, and being underpowered isn't a massive problem most of the time, certainly if we're ever doing work up the hill like this, it does become a bigger issue. Now I want to bring this round slowly so that we get this into the corner as much as possible. There we go, that should do it. And now we're going downhill a little bit. You know, it's that little bit more responsive, and it's working at that little bit more speed. So yeah, being underpowered, so long as you're not too far underpowered, isn't a massive issue. It's when you're trying to run a 300 horsepower seeder with a 100 horsepower tractor. You are absolutely going to run into that kind of problem. They're running a 300 horsepower seeder with a 250 horsepower tractor. It's not ideal. It can still cause you a lot of problems, but you should still be all right. So let's drop this down, pull that round, and away we go. There we are. Now can we... So yeah, we're not going to get that whole patch, so I'll get that on the way back. But yeah, this has worked out pretty well. We have got we got this field done. We've got some more oats, and the thing that since the first updates to Farm Sim, oats have become a much more viable crop. They pay really well, and they give you a very nice amount of straw as well. So we will be baling this field. Yeah, we got this little patch up here. We'll just see if we can pull across the field and get that. Oh wow, we've got a couple of little patches here, in fact. We'll just pull across here. Turn our seeder back on. Oh, I need to line myself up. There we go. And just cover this patch. There we are. And then we'll turn around here. Now, of course, this is not an overly realistic thing to do. Much better to actually get your positioning right in the first place. Right, there we go. So that is everything cleaned up, I think. Turn this off, fold it up, and yeah, that is looking good. So we have our field of oats done. Let's get this tractor back to our yard, and from there we can move on to our next job. Back to the yard, and oh, I think we probably want to start moving some of the wool pallets. We don't want them getting behind each other too much, so we need to move 2 of the stacks. We'll get our telehandler for that. We've got our mowers over there. Now I need to check. I'm not sure. I don't think we replaced our mowers with the ones from the DLC. So we might have an issue there. Certainly we didn't replace the cutting head for our forage harvester with one from the DLC, because we're looking at doing some different stuff with that. So let's take that off and disconnect this. This is looking rather dirty, this tractor. So we'll park this over here. We'll give this a wash in a moment. Turn it off. There we go. And we're going to head round, grab our Massey here, because that too is looking particularly dirty, and we want to put this piece of kit away because we currently have no use for this. We will be using this on field 21 when that's finished, because that does need ploughing around the edges. But basically, at the moment, these two tractors both need a good wash down. So we're going to give them that quickly. There we go. And then we can put our plough away. We can put our, our case plough away, which will be good. Is that a case plough? We'll check in a moment. There we are. Yes, case IH plough. Very good. Get our Massey out the way. So we'll probably make oat straw into round bales and wheat straw into square bales for the cows. I think that's probably our most efficient way of doing things. That has cleaned those up. And then we can then store the round bales here and the square bales up at the cow yard. Which will be fun because we'll have to unload and stack them at the cow yard. Drop that off. And we're going to park this back in the shed. With that done, Dawson. And here comes the rain. So that's good timing to get all of those jobs done. Now this is why we can't do any grass work today, and why I'm avoiding doing any grass work today, because this would be absolutely awful for that. We want to see what the weather forecast though is for the next couple of days, because if we can get another job done today, out the way that we don't have to worry about the rain, then we should be good. There we go. That will do. Let's have a look, and keeping the dry here, at what our weather forecast is going to do for the next couple of days. So we've now got rain through to midnight the next game day, but we have a great drying day for the final day of spring. So what we're going to do is we are going to go and do grass work next time. We will probably make hay because we have a bit of hay shortage of hay bales, especially with this weather. So that will be really useful to us. Now, in our crop rotation, our oilseed radish we were looking to follow by oats. But growing times a year, we can only plant oats one more day. Soybeans and corn, though, we can plant for the next 2 days. So that's what I was saying about this. So if we go and put corn in after this, that is still a 1.14. So that's good. We are going to go and do corn in this rotation here. And therefore what we're going to do is we're going to get a corn header for this and silage that corn when we come to do that later in the year. And we'll plant that early in summer. In the meantime, I think everything else is actually doing okay. We do need to go and move the woolen pallets, so we're going to move the wool pallets. That is a good job for us to do like this. They are wrapped, but we can get them moved out of the way, and it means that more will spawn. And that will basically just be a good way for us to end today. Definitely grass work next time. Get plenty of hay in some good drying conditions, and then towards the end of the year what we'll look to silage everything and make a load of money that way. So let's put this down here. Our pallet forks are at the end, and we do have a bit of kit actually that we can return. If I jump out of here quickly, I've got to jump out because that is playing up. This here I think we can return. I don't think we need these forks anymore. That is fertilizer. Yeah, we've got all these seeds here that I'd forgotten about. Seeds and lime. I keep forgetting that we have those in stuff because we have the buy anywhere mod. So we're able to do stuff. Right, let's move out the way here. Get this. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you cannot get this to hook up with manual attach. Manual attach has an issue. There we go. You have to sort of go and do something at the front with these and then it works. We are going to put these in one of our sheds, I think. We've got shed space to spare. Over here. Yeah. I think we should probably move the big things of lime we have. It would probably be wise to move those into the same shed as the lime spreader. And the bags of seed that we have, it's probably wise to move those into the same shed as the bags, as the seeders. That way we'll be able to actually follow where they are and keep them under control. We do have space in the shed, especially if we remove the lime from this shed. That will give us a whole load of space in here. And we did get we overspent on the lime by quite a way the first year, as you can see. But I'm slightly worried. Looks like we're not going to get a massive amount of wool for the end of the year. Strangely, because the wool only, I think we only get wool in spring, so we might get another pallet, we might not. Only 4 pallets of wool though is a little bit disappointing for all of the work we put into the sheeps, and even one of these wasn't a full pallet when it started. That's the incredible thing. Right, stack these. So we are, possibly in need of more sheep, but don't think it's wise getting them till the autumn, especially as we've only got £4,000 at the moment. Should be euros though. Let's switch that. There we go. Because we're an island. They do not use the pound in Ireland. Well, not Southern Ireland anyway. Let's get this last pallet. The other one, the other one isn't even 50% full at the moment. So I'm not sure we're going to get a massive amount of wool off this time. And then, rather pointlessly, I think we might wash our telehandler before we put it away, because that is all the jobs. With this rain, those are all the jobs we can do for today. Oh. Drop this off. We do at least have 3 pallets of wool. There we go. Crops are definitely the most profitable thing on here. Although, actually, I'm considering doing the pigs, because pigs in seasons is actually really profitable. There we are. Give this a quick hose down, because it is very dirty. And the rain doesn't seem to have washed much off it. There we go. Doing very nicely. Yeah, that's got it. Right, let's go part this up. Great demand at bales. I don't think we have any bales to do that with. Or any bales to spare at the very least. And there we go. So that is our horses dealt with, our sheep dealt with, our cows dealt with, and yeah, our field seeded. Thankfully, before the rain started falling. It's 2 in the afternoon in game, but this is where we're going to end it, because there's not much more we can do today. We will be getting on with some grass work tomorrow. We've got some favourable conditions for that. So yeah. For now, though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.